It joins me now for a review of those trends.
Oh, yes, I do, Bukola.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the Joshua and Ganu fight tomorrow?
Well, I'm not a boxing fan, but Kadi, thank God that there's boxing. If not, all these men that have so much energies, would we be safe?
Would you see them at the motor park?
Well, you just take a detour.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting one tomorrow. And it's quite interesting. It's happening on International Women's Day. And I know a lot of women are fans of Anthony Joshua, but I digress, guys. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning. For good reason. Right. Well, let's take a look at what's trending, what's making round this morning. And I think Third Mainland Park closure has been a big one for a lot of people, particularly commuters in Lagos. We brought you the travel advisory yesterday about the park closure of the Third Mainland Bridge. It's expected to be open later today, but obviously it came with lots of inconveniences to people. A lot of people saying they spent hours in traffic. So there's a Lagos traffic, right? And then there's yesterday's traffic.
Add Third Mainland to it.
Big one. So we'll begin with this one from Fiyin Dada on X. It's important to curate all of these opinions so government also knows what you are saying. And this is from Fiyin Dada on X saying, I honestly don't know the thought process behind the individuals or behind the lock-in of Third Mainland Bridge, because tell me why I have spent over 4 hours on a trip that is usually 40 minutes. I know in that advisory that the ministry gave says it's meant to be in continuation of the work being done on Third Mainland Bridge, and it's a classic debate, really.
And you know, Kadi, it speaks to a form of population explosion, if you ask me, because there are alternative routes, and the situation was managed during the partial closure, but this time it's a full closure of the bridge, and this is what we have. So there's need for more infrastructural development, but funding has been a big challenge, with reports saying that we need hundreds of billions of naira to meet the infrastructural deficit in Nigeria, not just in Lagos now, but across board. Here's what Dude Adeolu is saying. Adeolu says, it begins with an explanation. There you have it. God, you thought closing Third Mainland Bridge was a good idea. This is considerably worse than last week, and I was in that also. I'm tired.
I know.
Get back your strength, Adeolu.
Right. Yes. Let's take a look at this next one. It is from El Haj Afele. You have to be careful pronouncing those names. It's going to be quite tricky sometimes on X. It says over 2 hours from phase 1 to VI, all because of Third Mainland Bridge closure. And I know you also had perhaps that kind of experience as well, but it is what it is.
Well, Oludayo Shokumbi says, Third Mainland Bridge blocked, Ikoyi blocked. Now, wow.
Sammy Splendor, the period of time the Third Mainland Bridge will be completely blocked just happened to fall into days I'm off duty. That's from Sammy Splendor. I don't know what Sammy Splendor is trying to achieve. Are you trying to make us feel bad that, you didn't have to go through that? But yeah, point taken. So you might want to pray for that grace.
Next time. Well, this one is from Abdul Fatai, and he says, I believe, today's traffic, I believe, from VI to mainland is not normal, all because of Third Mainland Bridge. This traffic, na horror movie.
So there you go, some of the things you're saying on X. If you've got any thoughts, questions, hashtag CTV Morning Brief. That's how to do it on the show this morning. But let's move to another one, and that's the EFCC saying it intercepted 21 trucks said to be smuggling food out of the country. Remember, the customs had said 2 days ago that 120 trucks had been intercepted of late. So add to that the 21 by the EFCC, but naturally it has gotten a lot of Nigerians talking. The EFCC, trucks, but all hands on deck, they say. But let's see what you're saying. So Joy44 and X has this to say that EFCC should kindly let the public know who the truck owners are. At this point, we have the right to understand the impact of some so-called business people's selfishness. So it's important to follow these through and not just, have a statement about it and then go to bed. No, we need to follow this through. Was this really an arrest? Did they deserve to be arrested? Is the story clear? The EFCC needs to follow up so people can have their doubts clear.
Speaking of following through, many questions, are apt at this time, particularly with the interception of a number of trucks. So we have to distinguish between smuggling and exportation. Yeah. Shouldn't we have an exportation capacity as a country to export food to neighboring countries? I'm speaking to our conversation with
African farmer
yesterday. So there should be a distinction such that, we don't stifle what we should be encouraging. But of course, it's instructive that Nigeria needs food at this time. So this is Dr. Oak, and what's he saying? Interception is good, but when are you going to list the owner's name out? Just share this food among Nigerians who are really suffering if you can't name anyone.
If we're going to be sharing the food, that's if this is, of course, what it is, then we need to find a better way to share. We don't want to see what happened some weeks ago at customs with people dying as a result of a stampede. Omobaba Carpenter, kind of like this name on X, is the next one, saying, we never see food chop. Some people, they carry and go. Nigeria will always amuse me. Well, we're still waiting to see the outcome of the investigation, but that's what Omobaba Carpenter has to say. That's Shade
interesting name.
By the way.
And Sire Paul 01 says, people dragging EFCC for arresting smugglers is funny. Are you guys concerned about the arrest of illegal smugglers, or you are sad EFCC is doing the work expected of the customs and NIS? Y'all are funny people.
Okay, there you go. The beauty about social media is you can air your opinions as far as you're not harming any other person. So there you go with that one. One more for you, and that's from Bar today, saying greed is what's killing Nigerians, and we blame everything on the government. And for those asking if it is the EFCC's job to do such operations, this action is economic sabotage, which also falls as one of their mandate. Bar today says.
On to another theme now, Kadi, Edo politics, and quite a number of interesting thoughts here, starting with DEC. DEC says, Philip Shaibu, Edo State Deputy Governor, might have done wrong, but serving him impeachment notice at this time of election is ill-timed because PDP, this time, every Edolite is needed to deliver Aswe Igodalu, not divide.
Johnson Abolagba. Well, I think a lot of Edo people are jumping on this. I mean, some for, some against, as you will expect. But it says that the sooner he is impeached, the better. So he may leave us in peace. Okay. We know what side this is on. It also dawned on him that you don't get elected to the office of governor by arm twists and tactics. But it's important to say that he said he's not done anything wrong. And he believes that the governor is not supporting him because he didn't support the candidate of the governor. He says he has a right to vie for any elective position anyway. So, the situation
the governor
goes
didn't deny that he has that right, but the circumstances turned out to be what it did. Unsurprisingly, as some may say.
Unsurprisingly. I just want to say that for young people, you need to pay attention to this process. You need to get involved. You always say that we make up a large chunk of the voting population. Let us make that count right now. From the political parties to the engagement, to the campaigns, and eventual election. Young people, yes, be on social media, but also be on the field as well. I think that's pretty much all we can take from the trends this morning, Bukola.
So we're moving on to interesting themes that affect you, particularly if you're an entrepreneur. How are you surviving amid this economic climate? We have some answers for you from some people who are staying afloat. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
I like that.